Hey everyone, welcome to your 30-minute YIN practice. I'm Angie. For those of you that haven't done YIN before, YIN is a very still and meditative form of yoga. It's a really nice way to find space physically in your body and also to find a little bit of space in the mind as well, to take us some time away from our busy lives. The best thing about doing YIN is that you can do it in whatever you feel like. You can do it in your pajamas, you can do it in joggers, whatever you want to do it in. You don't need to have anything specific. I am surrounded by lots of things. You don't need all of these things, but I really like to just have some things close to me if I want to get myself more comfortable. So I do recommend at least having a bed pillow or a blanket next to you so you can pad yourself up a little bit. What I've got is a blanket, a couple of bricks, they can be 2 books, a bed pillow and a bolster. A bolster, if you have one, that's so lucky. If you don't, just pad up 2 pillows and that'll help pad you up a little bit more. I've also got a timing device with me. That is my phone, but I'm going to call it a timing device. So just so you know, I'm not scrolling through as I'm recording. I am actually just keeping time to make sure that we're all going into the right places. So we're going to start off in a wide-legged child's pose. This one is just going to be a general stretch out for the whole body and just to release that tension that we might be holding on to in times of stress. So what we want you to do with your blanket, if you have sensitive knees or sensitive feet, is to take it to about 2/3 of the way down your mat. And then you're just going to part your knees so your knees come to about as wide as your mat, your big toes are touching at the back, and then you're going to sink your hips down towards your heels. If this isn't nice for your knees or it doesn't feel comfortable, you can pad yourself up with some pillows in between the legs. And then we're going to roll ourselves down onto the front. So I'm going to use a bolster to place underneath my body. Again, that can be a couple of pillows, or it can even be a rolled up duvet, depending on how much padding you want. So once you've got yourself settled, take yourself all the way down to the bolster or to the floor. Give that bolster or pillows or whatever you've got there a nice little hug and turn your head towards the left side to start off with. We're going to be here for 3 minutes. So as we get started, just begin to notice how your body is feeling right now. And it's that check-in that really helps us to get into the body and out of the mind. The mind has a tendency to chatter a lot, to make stories, to make plans. So give your mind now the permission to just focus on the body. All of those other thoughts and plans are still going to be there at the end of this 30 minutes. So now is your time for the break. Really gift yourself this time. This is your time. And at the end of it, you'll feel a lot calmer and a lot more complete, more spacious, more energized, after giving yourself a proper rest. As you start to check in on the body, noticing any areas that feel particularly tight or tense, any areas of your body that feel particularly comfortable, any areas of your body that are holding some new sensations for you. Whatever you're experiencing, there's no judgment. Just observing and noticing. Lovely, guys. Turning the head to the opposite direction. 1.5 minutes left. Noticing now if without my voice and guidance the mind has already started to wander off. And if it has, can you bring it back to focus in on the body? Your child's pose is a stretch out for your hips, to find space. It's a stretch for your lower back. the spine. And you might even feel a stretching along the inner thighs as well. At any point in these yin poses, if you start to feel like it's too much, you can move out. The idea of taking these poses is to hold in stillness so the body really allows itself to relax. It's almost like the body finds safety in knowing that you're not going to be fidgeting or moving around. Allow your body and your mind to feel safe in this pose. Well done. We're just going to start to move out of this. So just turn your head to face forwards and then slowly walk your hands back. Just roll over your bolster, or roll your bolster over to one side. We're going to make our way onto our backs. So what I want you to do now is just lengthen out the legs. Make sure you're in the middle of your mat so you've got the space. And then come to lie on your back. And you can either rest the arms down beside the body, or you can take the hands onto the belly. And just take a moment to rebound out of that pose. To sink into the new sensations that you might be feeling along your legs, along your hips. Now I want you to really start to focus deeply on the breath. Sending a breath down towards where the hands are resting. So that you find a deeper and longer and fuller breath. As you breathe slowly, your nervous system begins to calm down. Your heart rate slows. And this is enabling us to physically change our response to stress. When we allow the nervous system to go into the rest and digest mode rather than the fight or flight mode, we're calming the body down. Lovely, so now we're going to go into a banana shape. So if you've still got your blanket underneath, just move it away. Place it off to one side. You're going to take your left leg over towards the left hand side of your mat. Keep your hips where they are. Then you're going to take your right foot over to join it. So don't worry about taking it too far, you just want to have it a little bit over to the side. And then you're going to take your left leg on top of the right. So it feels kind of counterintuitive to do that to start off with, but actually the left leg over the right makes you ground that right foot just a little bit more. Then you're going to reach your arms towards the back of your mat as far as you can. Then you're going to start to shuffle your shoulder blades and your shoulders over to the left hand side. So you can sort of go pressing through the head, then pressing through the shoulder blades, pressing through the head and moving the opposite so that you can really get yourself into this lovely curvy banana shape. And this is going to help us stretch out the right hand side of the body. I'm going to time us now for 3 minutes. And what I want you to feel is a heaviness through right shoulder, so keeping the right shoulder quite heavy and connected to the ground. A heaviness through the right hip bone and the right side of the pelvis, and a heaviness in the right foot. You can keep your head facing up, or you can turn your head to face the left hand side. And again, allowing your body to settle into stillness. If there's any more little movements or fidgets you need to do, make them now so that when you come to rest, you can really settle and sink down. Imagine the breath traveling towards the right hand side of your rib cage, filling up that right lung. Feel your jaw relax. And really let go of any reach. So if there's still any reach in your arms, even some reach that you might even be aware of, any muscles that are still switched on, just let them relax down now. Relax the chin, relax the cheeks, relax the eyes, relax the lips, and really let the head hang whichever direction you want. Imagine the right hand side of the torso getting heavier. And we've got about another minute here. Really soften. Last 2 breaths. And then slowly just releasing your arms down the side, just so you have a little bit more pressure to shuffle your way back into center. So shuffle the torso back first, then unravel the legs, bring the legs back to center. Just lift the hips away from the ground, set them back down so you're neutralizing the spine. Keep the knees bent, let the knees knock in towards each other, perhaps again resting the hands on the belly. How does your right side feel in comparison to your left? What do you experience now? What are the sensations that are making up your body? Lovely. Let's take this over to the left hand side. So just lengthening the legs down towards the front of the mat. Then taking right foot over to the right hand side. Then left leg joins, keeping the hips where they are. Then stack your right leg on top of the left. And you're going to reach your arms back. And then shuffle your shoulder blades and your shoulders over towards the right hand side so you make this banana shape again in the opposite direction. If it feels good for you now, you can let your head drop down towards the right hand side. And we're going to be here for 3 minutes. Again, thinking about your left shoulder heavy, your left side of your pelvis heavy, and the left foot heavy. Breathing into the left lung. Noticing if your mind has wandered off when the stillness happens and when it comes to silence. Each time it wanders off, that's okay, no judgment. Just guide it back to your breath. Whenever we think, whenever there's a thought in the mind, it's generally taking us towards the future or the past. So when we shift the focus to the body, we actually arrive fully in the present moment. the reason why the present moment is so good is because there's no worry there. It's just now. Nothing else but now. Just about another minute left. Can you anchor down that left side just a little more? And for these last few breaths, getting that left side of the body really heavy. Slowly start to shuffle your arms and your shoulders back in center. And then uncrossing the legs, just bending up the knees, lift the hips away from the ground, set the pelvis back down so it's neutralized, and just take a moment to rest here. Notice how it feels now in the left hand side of the body. It might be a very small change. See if you can notice. See if you can make that deeper connection. Nice one, guys. We're going to stay lying on the back. We're going to come to Supta Baddha Konasana, so sleeping butterfly pose. You're going to bring the soles of the feet together and open the knees out to the side. And if you've got really tight hips, or if it just feels like there's a little bit of pressure in the hips like this, then you're going to either use your 2 bed pillows, place them underneath your legs. You can pad them up as much as you need to, even so much so that the legs are quite close as the legs go on top. Or if you've got a couple of pillows or a bolster, you can take the bolster underneath the legs across the mat so the legs just rest on top. So just make yourself comfortable and make sure that you feel like your legs are supported. Remember, we're going to be here for 3 minutes, so even if it starts off feeling okay, it might start to feel a little bit funky after a couple of minutes. So really do get that support if you need it. If your legs are all the way down to the floor, then you might not need it, but if your legs are further away from the floor, then the support is there to make yourself feel more comfortable. For this one, we're going to place the hands on the chest, just to give ourselves a little bit of self-care and self-love. If the hands don't reach the chest and your arms can't settle to the floor heavily, then grab your bricks, and you can place your bricks beside your body or your books, whatever you're using, and rest your arms on your bricks and let your hands come to rest on your chest. So with the hands resting on the chest, we need to begin to feel the breath that's underneath the hands. Noticing the ebb and flow of air that the body naturally brings in and out without us thinking, does it subconsciously. Just take a moment here with your hands on your chest to be grateful for the workings of your body. To be grateful for your breath. practicing gratitude not only improves mental health and mental well-being, it also just gives you a little boost of feel good. It feels good to be grateful for something. So as much as you can, practice a moment of gratitude at least once throughout your day. And now you've taken a moment for gratitude. Let's shift the focus back to the breath. And then shift the focus back into the body. Is there anywhere else in your body that you can release or relax? Is there anywhere else in your body that can feel more calm, heavier? Take a deep breath in and a long breath out. Before you start moving, just start to think about moving. And notice if the body is met with resistance. Does the body want to move, or does it feel quite comfortable? And slowly start to move the body, taking away your props. We're going to come to seated now. So just slowly roll yourself over onto one side so you don't get a head rush. Take your time moving as though you're moving in slow motion or like you're a sloth. So now we're going to come to a pigeon pose. So you're going to be about, again, 2/3 of the way down your mat. You're going to turn your bolster or pillows, whatever you're using, so that it's lengthways along your mat. You're going to take your hands forwards, then you're going to bring your right knee towards your right wrist and your right toes towards the left hand side of your mat. So it's sort of at a diagonal angle. Then you're going to slide your left toes back and let your pelvis drop down towards the ground. This position is going to look very different for everyone, so you've got to make sure that you're doing the right one for your body. What you want to feel is a stretch out for the outer right hip. We're going to take either a pillow or a blanket underneath the right hip if you've got lots of space underneath. Now you're going to take yourself forwards and rest your forehead or the side of your face onto the bolster or pillows. Now this looks okay without any props. I'm going to start the timer now for 2 minutes. This looks okay for props, without props. You can come into a deer pose instead. So you've got two 90-degree angles. Your front shin is in line with the front of your mat, and your left shin is in line with the left side of your mat. And then you can start to fold forwards. You can either stay here if that's enough for you, or you can start to fold a little deeper to get that stretch out into the right side of your hips. I'm going to stay for this one as it feels quite nice for me this time. And you're going to hold and breathe. See if you can relax your jaw. Even if you're up like this and there's a little bit of effort in your arms, still try to relax into the legs and into the rest of the body. The longer we hold these yin poses, the more space we're going to find in the body, especially if you're able to stay still. When you go about past 30 seconds of a stretch, you pass past the muscle tissue and start to connect into the fascia, which is the connective tissues between muscle and bone. So it's actually giving you a deeper release. It's a very different kind of stretch to when we do the active stretches. Just 2 more breaths here. You might be able to sink just a little deeper for your last breath. And then we're going to walk the hands back. And then we're going to step the right leg back to join the left, back into tabletop. And then we're just going to go straight onto the other side. So left knee comes into the left wrist. If you're using bolster or pillows, you're sliding the right toes back, hips draw down. Use something to pad out your left hip if it's far away from the ground, and then you're folding over your pillows or bolster. If you're doing the other variation, you're having your left shin parallel to the front edge of the mat, your right shin parallel to the right hand side of your mat. And then you're going to fold yourself over that left leg. So again, taking your time to make yourself comfortable and then settling in. Releasing the effort from your arms, from your legs, from your head. Let gravity draw you down even more. Let a wave of calm wash over your body. Keeping the body calm with slow breathing. Last breath, see if you can go just a little deeper. And then slowly making your way back. Just take away the props that you might need. Bring anything in for your Shavasana. So you're going to come to lie down on the back. I like to have a bolster underneath my legs. You might want to have a pillow underneath your head or something like that. Take the feet about as wide as the mat. Let your arms rest down beside the body. Taking a deep breath in. And a slow breath out. Feeling your body sink down into the ground. Inhale. And exhale. Let go of all tension. Let go of all worry. Shift your focus to your breath and count 5 inhale and exhales. Very slowly, there's no rush. And every time you exhale, relax a little more. Making this your last breath in Shavasana. Gently dropping your head from side to side. Wriggling the fingers and toes and bringing movement back into the rest of your body. Take a stretch. Roll yourself over onto one side. Curl the knees into the chest. Give yourself a moment just to still be here with your body and breath. And then slowly make your way up into a comfortable seated position. Take your hands to heart center. Take the thumbs up to the third eye. Bow the chin down to the chest. Thank you guys. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. After that, you're probably feeling nice and relaxed and rested. If you haven't already, then there is a subscription link down below here, or there is one over here. I think it's just under here if you're on your phone. And there's also a link to become a member if you'd like to see more videos and get lots more content. Thanks everyone. I'll see you here again soon. Take care.